Hello everyone, I'm Jeff Brandon. Welcome to Roosevelt Field for this second game of the Norristown High School Eagle football team 1986 season. Tonight the Eagles enter this ball game with a fine record, having been on the road for these past 4 weeks. They come into tonight's ball game at 4-0-1, that only mark on their record so far this season. That tie against Plymouth Whitemarsh 6-6, an away game early in the season. They have victories this year over Bishop Kenrick here at Roosevelt Field, 22-0. Defeated Pennsburn and upset their first league contest of the year. Also, to make themselves 2-0 in league play, defeated Ben Salem 33-0 in their last contest. And the other victory rounding out their season was a non-league match against Methacton, which was won at Methacton. That scored 29-14. Tonight the Eagles take on the Tigers of Truman. This is a league contest, although the Tigers are not in Norristown's division in this new restructuring of the Suburban 1 League. Norristown now playing in the Suburban 1 League National Conference Colonial Division and entering this ball game at 2-0, as I said, in league play. This game, I have to give the edge to the Eagles. They come into this ballgame with a high-powered offense. Danny Boyd has had a fine season to date. Several great games on the ground, rushed for over 100 yards in the game against Ben Salem, only played 3 quarters. Jim Scott and Brad Yorick have hooked up more than once in these past 5 weeks on some fantastic long yardage pass plays for some spectacular touchdowns for the Eagles. And the Norristown defense in these past 2 games has come around and has played the way Roger Grove thought they would play. Truman, not too much to speak of. Derek Williams at running back, he's the key to their ball game. Derek Williams will run early, he will run a lot, and if he runs well, Truman has a shot at this ball game. It's easy to say Norristown's the odds-on favorite, but I have to take note of the fact that Truman always plays Norristown tough. Last year's game was a 6-0 Norristown win at Truman, and I think that Truman team comes here to Roosevelt Field tonight with the same thing in mind. Play tough, play close, keep it on the ground, and keep it within reach. That's their goal tonight as they take on these Eagles of Norristown, and what should be a Norristown game the way I see it. We'll be back in just a moment for the play-by-play. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here on the field and ready for our evening's kickoff. Norristown lost the toss. They'll kick off to Truman. Norristown in their all-blue uniforms this evening. Truman in the all-white with the dark helmets. Norristown going from left to right on your screen, and here's the kick. Steve Storty's kick is hit, taken by one of the back men at the 15-yard line, and a nice run back up to the 35. Takedown finally at about the 36-yard line. And on the stop that time for Norristown was number 40, Chris Majeski. So the Eagles will take the field on defense for this first series. And starting at quarterback for the Tigers of Truman will be number 10, Kurt Fuller in the backfield. For Truman, we'll get you all the starting lineups in just a moment. With just underway here, 11:37 in the first quarter. Handoff up the middle, goes for about 4 yards that time. On the carry, number 40 for Truman. And I believe that was Derek Williams. Williams gains 5 on that first play, 2nd down and 5 from their own 40-yard line. Receiver wide right. They go off left tackle this time. Number 23, Kevin Nelson on the carry. Stopped after a gain of about, 1 yard we'll call it. Make it 3rd down and 4 yards to go. Receiver down at the bottom of the screen, wide to the left, out of the I formation. The pitch goes back around the right end. Norristown strings it out nicely, and it's going to be close play for a first down. That time on the carry, number 23, Kevin Nelson. Nelson fighting his way to the first down marker. Close to the 46-yard line, but not quite far enough. Right in there, quarterback in his backs. Number 40, Derek Williams. 4th down and 1, and Truman elects to go for it early in the ball game. The handoff goes through the middle. It looks like it paid off, folks. I'll tell you, that's a daring call by the Truman Tigers. 4th and 1 from their own 45-yard line. First series of the game, and they elect to go for a first down.
Looks like we have one number change, number 20.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers, 10-10 remaining in the first quarter. Back to pass for the first time over the middle. Pass is completed. Oh, I'll tell you, what a play that time. On the reception, number 20.
We think it's
It looks like Bill Flanagan for the Truman Tigers. And a big gain. They pick up 10, 20, about 26 yards on that play, all the way down into Eagle territory at the 23-yard line. Breakdown on defense that time, folks.
It is Flanagan.
Flanagan cut across the middle. Fuller hit him square on the numbers. And he beat the Norristown defense through that seam. So 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. This time they go off the left side. Loose ball. And Norristown comes up with it. Wait for the officials, and yes. So we'll change sides of the field. Norristown offense coming down. A big mistake for Truman. They gamble early, get a nice big gainer down deep into Norristown territory, and cough up the football going off the left side. So Norristown will have their first offensive series of the game. Starting at quarterback for Norristown be number 5, Jim Scott. In the backfield for Scott, number 2, Danny Boyd. Forrest Davis taking a flanker position. Brad Yorick wide to the right. 1st and 10 from the 23. Danny Boyd on the pitch. Goes around the right side, runs over one would-be tackler, and is finally brought down at about the 27-yard line. Pick up of about 5 on the play.
Second and 6.
Second down and 5 for the Eagles. This time out of the I formation, Danny Boyd, your halfback. They go to the fullback, the quick give up the middle. That time was number 30 for Norristown. Darrell Moses on the carry. Moses had a fine game against Ben Salem, gaining almost 90 yards in that contest. We've got a timeout on the field, officials timeout. And now we're back and ready to play. It was probably an equipment problem, so we had to hook on a chin strap or something. 8:14 to play in the first quarter. Norristown facing a 3rd down, and we'll call it 5. Darrell Moses was stopped for just about nothing on that last play. Out of the eye once again. Yorink at the bottom of the screen. Forrest Davis to the left. They pitch to Danny Boyd around the left side. Davis meets with strong opposition over that left side, and he is pulled down for a loss on the play. 4th down, Norristown, and the Eagles will be forced to punt after this first offensive series for them. So a quick 1-2-3 and punt for Norristown, as Truman holds tight across the front. Put in Darrell Moses, 30.
Bill Flanagan. Kevin Nelson deep.
Chris Scarpula, low end-over-end punt. Takes a little bit of a Norristown bounce, and it's finally down at the 44-yard line. Net gain of only about 25 yards on that punt for Norristown. So with 7:10 to play in the first quarter, the Tigers take over with good field position. This game being brought to you by the Norristown Area School District. I'm Jeff Brandon. Alan Riley not with me tonight, and believe me, I let him have it. Letting me down in the clutch again. Story of my life. Fuller, back to pass again. It's way overthrown. Nice pass to the Norristown bench. Coach Everett's almost brought that one down. That time the intended receiver was a number 80 for Truman. And that's Gary Bennett. 2nd and 10, the pitch. Nice play that time. Nelson gets hit hard. But not before he picked up 7 yards on the play, in on the tackle. Number 11 for Norristown, Brett Queenan. Queenan coming up from the secondary to put a punishing hit on Nelson. But as I say, Nelson picks up 7 on the play, so 3rd down and 3 for the Tigers from the 50-yard line. Back to pass, over the middle, overthrew everybody, even the Eagles secondary that time. So on 3rd and 3, the Tigers come up short. It'll be 4th down and a long 3 yards to go, and this time the Tigers elect to kick the ball. Not the daring do that we saw in that first series when they went on 4th down and 1 in their own territory. So from midfield, the Tigers back to punt. We've seen 3 quick exchanges so far in this ball game. First series of the game, Tigers coughed the ball up on a fumble. Eagles 3 plays and a punt. Now the Tigers reciprocate with 3 plays and a punt. Deep for Norristown, Brett Queenan. Punt is up, good distance. They fight for it. Ball's taken by Darryl Moses. He has no place to go. And Brett Queenan probably says, fine, Darryl, you can have it. Truman all over Darryl Moses, and the Eagles will take possession of the ball at their own 23-yard line, the same place they began their last series. No score in this ball game. We're just underway here. Jim Scott, long count. They hand off to Danny Boyd off the right side. He's got some running room. Spins off one tackler. Danny Boyd's in the open. Nobody's going to catch Danny Boyd. That's a touchdown, folks. Norristown up on top, 6-0 in this ball game. Danny Boyd, 77 yards for a score, and the Eagles out on top. No flags on the field. So that's a quick 6 points for Danny Boyd, and well, I tell you, helps your rushing statistics when you can break one for 77 yards. Boyd has done that repeatedly this season. Had 2 long runs against Ben Salem. That's the way to score, quick and easy. That was painless. 1 play, 77 yards for a touchdown. In for the extra point, number 26, Rob Wennick. Jim Scott will be the holder. Snap is high, they get it down, the punt is up. Or pardon me, the kick is up, not the punt. The extra point is good, so Norristown takes a 7-0 lead midway through this first quarter of play. 5:26 to go. Eagles out on top, 7-0. Steve Storty with the kick, line drive deep, taken at the 15-yard line, returns up to the 30, 32-yard line, and that's all the further that's going to go. On the return that time, number 31 for the Truman Tigers. Number 31 is Joe Bianchini. Just love when they prepare the program booklet in alphabetical order. That makes it a whole lot of fun. In fact, I don't even think it's in alphabetical order, but the numbers are certainly not in order. So you have to scan up and down the sheet to figure out who's who. Not a simple task for those of us without degrees in mathematics. First down off the right side, about 5 yards on the play.
Obviously looks like Chad maybe I heard him talking with Mr. Snyder. Something about going to Virginia.
Second down and 5, big opening. I'll tell you, if it hadn't been for Kevin Every in the secondary along with Darian Smith, we'd have seen a touchdown that time. Nelson, big break up the middle. First down, however, 4:21 to play in the first quarter. Ball at the 47, 48-yard line. First down and 10 from the 48. Williams breaks one tackle, breaks two tackles for a first down, finally brought down by number 44 for Norristown. That's Charles Fisher. First and 10. Tigers moving the ball. There it is, off the left side again, once again. Good for a nice gain. That time Nelson took a nice block off the left side. Dave Wallace was blocked out. Had no play. We have 3:30 to play in the first quarter. Eagles out early with a big Danny Boyd 77-yard run. First play of the Eagles' second offensive series. Tigers moving the ball here. Fuller sticking on the ground here on this third possession of the game. The pitch goes outside to Nelson. He's got a lot of running room if he can turn the corner. Good pursuit that time by Norristown, but also a first down. That time in on the play, number 42, Rob Horton, was the only man standing between Kevin Nelson and the goal line. Nelson had to turn that corner, but Horton forced him out of bounds. So another first down. The Tigers moving those chains downfield. They're at the 25-yard line of Norristown. Fuller, the quick handoff up the middle. Williams spins. They can't bring him down, but they finally knock him backwards. He picks up about 3 on the play. So Derek Williams not handling the ball an excessive amount early in this ball game. It's been Kevin Nelson who's been breaking free for the Tigers here. Not a huge crowd here at Roosevelt Field this evening on a chilly October evening. Truman's band outnumbers their spectators, but I guess that's the way it gets when you come that far for a ball game. No great rivalry between Norristown and Truman, to speak of anyway. 2:28 to play in the first quarter. Fuller, plenty of time to throw. Looks around the right side, keeps the ball himself. Tries to get out of bounds, picks up about 5 or 6 yards on the play. He'll be close to a first down. Looks like they're inside the Norristown 20. The fans who are here, even on the Norristown side, don't seem to be overly enthused about this evening's contest. I guess it's not a barn burner or anything. Danny Boyd's spectacular run did elicit some response from these fans, but I think everybody's worried about keeping their hands warm tonight. 3rd and 1, close to a first down. Fuller was stopped short. That's a first down. Off the left side, they fight for the ball. Let's see what the officials say. Rob Horton thought he had the ball, but the officials say no, progress was stopped at that point, and Nelson was ruled down. Whistle was blown. So there is no fumble on the play. Horton ripped it out of Nelson's hands. First down. 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. The Tigers moving the ball with ease on this Norristown defense. Starting on defense for Norristown tonight, number 4, Rowan Watson, number 56, Bruce Chesson, number 40, Chris Majeski, number 3, Darian Smith, number 11, Brett Queenan, number 42, Rob Horton, 55, Kevin Every, 75, Mike Lynch. Play up the middle goes nowhere. Heavy hit there by Norristown. Also starting for Norristown, number 44, Charles Fisher, and number 86, Dave Wallace. Rounding out the starters is number 71, Ed Kerner, on the defensive line. So 2nd down and 10. from the 13 of the Eagles. Fuller looks up top, had a man open. Would have been a nice pass had he completed it, but not to be. Flanagan was the intended receiver that time. So 3rd down and 10. Tigers stalling a bit here deep in Norristown territory with 1:16 to play in the quarter. The pitch goes outside to Williams. He tries to cut it back upfield. He's still on his feet. I don't believe it. Touchdown. Absolutely incredible. Norristown had Derek Williams stopped well short of a 1st down, certainly, and well short of the goal line. Bad tackling. Williams spins and turns and high steps his way through the Eagle defense, through the heart of the Eagle defense, into the end zone for a touchdown. Derek Williams is the man that Roger Grove was worried about in this contest, and that comes to bear as Williams puts the first points on the board for the Truman Tigers. They have a timeout on the field as we await the extra point try by Truman. So Truman fights right back to equalize this ball game. Of course, if they kick the extra point, we'll have a tie game, 2-point conversion and put them ahead. But I'm impressed with the way Truman's come out here this evening. They are running all over Norristown. This is certainly not what I expected from a team that was 1-4 coming into tonight's ball game and 0-2 in league play. Norristown, after a shaky game against Plymouth White Marsh, in which they tied the Colonials 6-6 at PW Field, has played exceptionally well on the road. And back here at home, I think they've got themselves a game for the extra point. The snap is good. It's down, and a perfect kick. That ball went over the rear bleachers here at Roosevelt Field. That was about a 30, 40-yard field goal that time from the Tiger place kicker. So a tie ball game, 7-7 with 1:08 to play in the first quarter. Mr. Tony Coya, Director of Communications, is our producer and director here this evening for the Norristown Area School District. Walt Fry helping me out with some statistics tonight, and Paul Bean doing a fine job of running camera for us here at Roosevelt Field. I see Tony Coy is not in the Bahamas this week, which is a good sign. See that he's earning his pay here working for the Norristown Area School District. The man's got a tough life, but...
And Jeff, with the weather that we're having here this evening, I'd much rather be in the Bahamas. Although this has turned out to be quite a game. I think this is more than Norristown thought they were going to have tonight. They're going to have to realize that these guys from Truman have come out here to play ball tonight. Well,
I think it's certainly more than I anticipated, Tony, with a tie ball game here at the end of the first quarter. The kick is up. Not an exceptionally deep kick. Brett Queenan takes it at the 15-yard line. Queenan spins off one tackler, rips his jersey, and bowls his way out to the 28-yard line.
27-yard line, 30-10
Eagles take possession their own 28-yard line. Brad Yorick, split end, the lower part of your screen. The 3-man backfield for Norristown. Misdirection play. They hand to Forrest Davis. Davis has got plenty of running room. He's got one man to beat. He cuts it back through the inside, and he's brought down just over midfield. So a 22-yard gain that time by Forrest Davis. I'll tell you, that 3-man backfield was deceptive that time. Danny Boyd, Darrell Moses, and Forrest Davis all sitting back there. Jim Scott turns around, and Truman didn't pick up on the handoff to Forrest Davis. Good blocking over that left side. Sprung Davis and just couldn't beat that final man trying to cut back into the middle. So Eagles first down, 48-yard line of Truman. This will be our last play of the first half, or pardon me, the first quarter. Hand off to Boyd this time, picks his way through the middle. Danny Boyd good for 8 yards. He's down to the 40-yard line. And we end the first quarter, and we'll stop play here for a moment and switch sides of the field.